I'm Councilmember Jose Huizar. This is the Public Works Committee, and we'll be joined by Councilmember Mitch Englander a bit later. We understand Councilmember Parks cannot make it today. And if we could go, items number 1 and number 2 will be continued at the request of Council District 8. So those two items, 1 and 2, will be continued at the request of Council District 8. Item number 3, I understand that there was a report due from the CAO's office that's not completed yet. Can we read the item number 3? Let's just take it up, and then we'll... Yeah.
Item number 3 is an item continued from October 5th, 2011. It's a motion by Council Members Labange and Garcetti relative to a non-motorized multimodal bridge project connecting Griffith Park and the Los Angeles River bike path to the North Atwater community and related matters. On July 15, 2011, the Information Technology and Government Affairs Committee waived this item, and on September 26, the Ad Hoc River Committee approved the matter. This item is also referred in the Budget and Finance Committee.
Has Budget and Finance heard this item? No, they have not heard.
Not yet. The representative of the CAO is...
Your name for the record, please.
Pardon me?
Your name and
Paul Smith, CLA.
for the record. Thank you.
Thank you. The representative of the CAO said they will give an oral briefing where they are today, and I think they're going to need another 15 days to get the report finished.
Okay.
Councilman, I'm David Hirano with the Office of the CAO, and joining me are a couple of my colleagues, Maria Cardenas and Lori Hancock. We have had insufficient time to compile a CAO report on this matter. We would need a little bit more time. I don't know if 15 days is enough, given where we are with our workload. It would probably be at least another 30 days before we could complete a report back.
What if you come in on the...
Contradict me if you think it'd be more.
What if you come in on the weekends? Can you do 15 days? You already do.
Yeah.
Good answer.
I do understand that you know, they're asking for fee waivers, so we'll have to put that in context for you, and that there is a desire to try and expedite this project. However, one thing that everyone should keep in mind is the city already has a significant backlog of capital projects on both the municipal facility side and the physical plant side. So, and the backlog of projects on both sides already includes projects that are fully funded. So, you know, I don't know. We'll have to evaluate whether some of the options being proposed actually will achieve an expedited process or not.
Okay, thank you.
I wouldn't want to raise too many hopes at this point.
Okay.
So.
Thank you. If you could stay up there, and just in case we have further questions, and if we could ask, everything okay? All right. I go through public speakers. Anybody who wish to speak can fill out a card. We have Colin Bogart. Okay. Yes. Unless the chair gets a little easy, then you have more than 2 minutes.
Yeah, my name is Colin Bogart. I'm with the Los Angeles County Bicycle Coalition. I'm also a resident of East Hollywood, and I've been riding the LA River Path for well over 10 years now, and also the LACBC hosts our river ride on the path. So I'm very familiar with the area, and I just wanted to come in today and express the significance of this project, namely that the path access points in this area, basically from Fletcher upstream, all of the path access points are adjacent to either a freeway on-ramp or off-ramp, a busy street, or both. What's significant about this project is that it will provide people with access to the LA River Path and to Griffith Park, either on foot or by bike, and of course the equestrian element as well. It will provide that access from a neighborhood in this area which currently does not exist. I just finished working on a project in the city of Glendale for 3 years, and I talked to a lot of South Glendale residents who've told me they can see the park, they'd like to be able to walk to it or ride to it, but they can't. And so this bridge would make a huge difference to residents both of South Glendale, but also obviously North Atwater, and potentially could make a big difference to residents living just a little further east in Eagle Rock as well. For those reasons, we wholly support this project. And we're glad to see that it considers all modes, both equestrians, pedestrians, and bicyclists. We're well aware that there's a equestrian stable on the east side of the river, and don't have any problem with their access, and we hope they don't have any problem with ours. I would also like to point out that just east of where the park that the bridge is going to start from is a street called Brunswick, and that is currently on the city's bike plan as what's called a bike-friendly street. So this is also something that can very easily link into the larger bike network. So as far as we're concerned, we see this as a win-win for everyone. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Omar Brownson?
Good afternoon. My name is Omar Brownson. I'm the Executive Director of the LA River Revitalization Corporation and the sponsor of this project. The CAO's office just raised the issue of the importance of expediting this process. River Corporation was created by the City of Los Angeles to help implement the master plan of the LA River. This is one of our first projects in that implementation of the master plan. We've secured a donor at the tune of $4 million to give a philanthropic gift to the City of Los Angeles. But we want to be able to prove not just with this project, but future projects, but that the City of Los Angeles is prepared to receive philanthropic gifts and is prepared to really make it more efficient and easier for people to invest in the Los Angeles, not only along the river, but within our city. And so we have already the commitment of $4 million. We have a full team. We've gone through concept design. We're in design development. We're really trying to prove that we can invest in Los Angeles in a quick time. And so it's important that we continue to get support from the City of Los Angeles. We've also submitted for the public record today 34 letters of support for this project. We've gotten several letters, and then we were at a community outreach meeting this weekend. We got another 20 folks supporting. The momentum and excitement is there, and literally there's nominal, hopefully, issues that we can resolve. CAO's office asked for 2 weeks before. It's already been 4 weeks, and we're now hearing they want even more than another 2-week extension. We have a small window in which we can actually build this bridge because of the Army Corps and the flood control issues. So we have a tight schedule in terms of when we can actually fabricate and build across the bridge. And so that's why we're pushing forward as hard as we are in moving this project forward. And again, to show that the city can receive the gifts that we're able to leverage in the community and broader philanthropic community.
Okay, thank you. Now, before we get your report, there's a funding gap issue, correct? That's the main issue.
Yes,
We believe this project has merit. It's a good project. We want to accept it. We want to do it. It's just a matter of us understanding what we're getting ourselves into financially, should we do it, and how we manage that, correct? Is that generally the main issue?
that would be one of the issues. We need to more finely tune and understand the financial gap on the project implementation side of the equation. But there's also going to be a funding gap on the O&M side of the equation once the project is built and needed to be maintained. And while we understand the position the gentleman just expressed, one of the things that we really have to look towards is what is the future impact on our general fund. And to the extent that that impact is significant, we're going to have to obviously make some choices as a city. You as a policymaker are going to have to make those hard choices. And we need to be in a position where we can advise you fully on and you can make those choices well informed. And my understanding is that the O&M on this type of facility could be fairly significant.
Okay, and from the public works perspective, the Bureau, who manages this? The Bureau of Engineering?
Well, the motion proposes
Bridge
the
Department, or-
Engineering and Street Services.
Okay. There's someone here from that department?
Yes.
Okay. This is what I'm thinking of doing. Since it's mostly a financial issue, if the Bureau and Department's okay with the concept of this issue and how it would work, we could forward this to Budget and Finance and let them handle the financial issues. What do you think?
There is one other, I think, issue that you may want to consider, although I wouldn't want to discourage you from that plan if that's what you want to do. The original Articles of Incorporation for Los Angeles River Revitalization Corporation specify this organization is supposed to help lessen the burden on government, and I'm not sure that this project, as it's being portrayed now, would do so, especially from a financial perspective. So that's part of what we need to put together in a report for you to consider, and then you need to consider as to whether this project is doing that. Given that this is one of the first projects coming forward, you may be setting a template for how you handle future projects. Maybe a policy decision you want to look at in the overall context of approving this.
Okay. Any other issues from the department's point of view in terms of this item?
If I may, thank you, Councilman Ron Olive, Bureau of Street Services. As Mr. Ramos pointed out, we do have concerns with the maintenance on this bridge. We are directly named to assume responsibility for that. If this was to move forward, we would propose maybe that language in the last paragraph be made more generic, that the city assume responsibility rather than street services. There's a whole host of issues with the cable suspension bridge on the rendering. We don't have the expertise for it. Some of the initial costs, even for routine maintenance, above and beyond what we can absorb, both staff-wise and funding-wise. And then there's the eligibility, of course, with the funding source. I think it would have to be general fund because it may not be gas tax eligible. So a number of issues that still need to be flushed out, and there have been ongoing meetings trying to flush these issues out.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so I thought we could just forward this and make it a financial issue, but budget and finance, but it seems like there's some other questions within the departments that's purview to the Public Works Committee. So we'll continue this for 30 days and have that report in this committee in 30 days, if that's okay?
Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Oh. Okay. I was just informed that Mr. Englander is in closed session in council. I was actually there in council meeting this morning, had to leave and just got back and started the meeting not realizing that council is still going on, but we could still conduct this meeting, you think?
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Is there any, am I violating any council rules by conducting a committee meeting when council is still in session?
No, sir.
Okay.
You can continue the meeting, and any action you take would be a communication from the chair.
Okay. Excellent. So let's move on to the next item.
Item number 4 is a Bureau of Engineering report relative to the State of California's notice of intention to relinquish collateral facilities along Route 101 on East Commercial Street.
Hello.
Good afternoon, Council Member. I'm Jeannie Park from the Bureau of Engineering, the Street Improvement Group, and this is Mike Brown, Program Manager. We're here to report on our response to Caltrans's offer to relinquish two portions off of Commercial Street, which arose after Caltrans moved the freeway entrance to the 101. Public Works has no interest. We have no, the parcels are too small to use as a street facility. However, the Department of Transportation has expressed an interest, and so they will respond formally to Caltrans on behalf of the city.
Okay. So who's going to respond on behalf of the city?
The Department of Transportation, DOT.
Okay. So the action here is,
We were just asked to respond formally within the 90 days. Otherwise, Caltrans would vacate the parcels. Since there may be potential use for future DOT projects, they will respond that they are interested.
okay, sounds good. The action here should be,
Well, in this particular case, if the DOT is going to respond separately, we could note and file this particular, well,
This-
maybe we should refer this matter to the Transportation Committee.
let's do that.
Yeah,
And would that fit
refer-
within the timeline? I mean, just, you'll make sure it gets.
Yeah, we
in
want to
there.
keep the actual communication
Yeah,
alive.
let's refer this to Transportation Committee and have that case file number alive.
And allow DOT report back to the Transportation.
Yeah,
Okay.
within the timelines.
That was a formal, it was an informal timeline. They understand that there is this interest, and so we'll just keep the dialogue open with Caltrans in the meantime.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Next item.
Mr. Chair, just for the record, so we're keeping the item in committee. We're continuing
No, we're
that.
referring item number 4 to the Transportation Committee.
Okay, and do you want it to come back here?
No, no, it won't come back. With the instructions that the CLA's office will ensure that Transportation Committee receives the file and the clerk, and also within the committee acts within the timeline set forth by Caltrans.
We'll work with the city clerk on this.
Item number 5 is a motion from Councilmember Kikoria and Labange relative to the issuance of a permit to allow street trenching in conjunction with the installation of a sewer line on Laurel Canyon Boulevard between Ventura Boulevard and Maxwellton Road.
Is there a staff report on this? Yeah, you're the only one standing, so.
You stayed, so you
Thank you, Councilman. Ron Olive again, Bureau of Street Services. Yes, we did just resurface this block. It was part of a 7-block project we resurfaced back in May of this year on Laurel Canyon Boulevard. We did do the proper notifications. We weren't notified of any pending excavation work. But however, it seems like from the motion and from what we understand, this was an emergency, unforeseen. And this person does have to get a sewer connection. Looks like the only feasible location is on Laurel Canyon Boulevard, so we don't object to this.
Okay.
We've talked to Bureau, we have talked to Bureau of Engineering too, and I don't think they have any objection to issuing the permit.
Okay, it was an unexpected occurrence, so we're moving through council to make an exception to our rules, which makes sense. So we'll move this item to council. Thank you. Any public comment cards? No. Meeting adjourned. Thank you very much.